Hi guys, Chris back again with another episode for you from my York City simulated career. We're about to get our first game in the Premier League underway, but before that I'm going to show you a few players who I have some shortlisted. You see there's Kurt Zouma, Thomas Ronge, there's Dario Del Fabro, who I believe turns into a good player. I think he's got potential around 82. He's not a player that I want to sign right now. There are others higher on the list, like Kurt Zouma, who I believe's contract is running out, so we may be able to get him on the cheap. You can see there his contract, he's only got 11 months left, so he's worth 11 million. I'll put in a £5 million bid, and hopefully that gets accepted. It's slightly under. I think when players are in the last year of the contract, you've got to pay around 75% of their actual worth. Thomas Ronge is another one. He can play centre back or right back, as you can see there on screen. He's got high defensive work rate as well. Valued at 5 million. I'm going to put in a £4 million bid. It's the upper end of what Newcastle are saying they would want for him. I think that should tempt them away, and we should be able to pick him up there. Ezekiel Garay is another player who I may look to pick up in the near future. There's Nana Welbeck as well from Barcelona. Unfortunately, he is valued at 8.5 million. He has just under 2 years left on his contract, so we may have to pay top whack for him, but we'll make an inquiry for now. There's Ibrahim Mbaye, who I believe, he also has less than a year left in his contract, and he can play left or right back as well, so we'll make an inquiry for him. You see that? Yep, there we go. So you can play left back, right back, centre mid, which is great. There's also Fabinho, a young right back from Rio Ave, who has less than a year left on his contract. I'm just going to put in a straight £3.5 million bid for him. I'm not going to inquire, as he's got less than a year left, and I think we can pick him up for a reasonable price. Wilfred Bonney as well is another player who we may like to bring in as a striker role, but I think our strikers are good enough. We just need to look at getting better defenders in. As you can see there, Valverde is the real weak link in the team at present, and then potentially another central midfielder. I want to try and get the defence and the midfield all above 80 as soon as possible. You can see there we are badly out of form, so I need to make some few changes. Bring Luke Shaw in, Baker and Taylor. Do we have any other midfielders? Luis Gadam, but we're starting to get down a bit there, so we'll keep Moreno Fuentes in there, I think. Or shall I go with Silva, the defensive player? We'll keep Moreno Fuentes in there. Strikers, we'll go with Benzia. We've been scoring in pre-season. Kenteros was our top scorer last season, so we'll stick with those two. We'll make a few substitutions onto the bench. Juan Marcos can come on for Thiago Medeiros. Lazarevic can also come onto the bench. He has a bit of form. He can come on for Pavlovic. Anyone else with form that we can bring on? No, I think that's it really. Okay, so we'll get this first game of the season underway against Aston Villa, I believe it is. Yep, Aston Villa. We then have a game against West Brom in the league, and we also face West Brom in the Capital One Cup at the end of this month. So we could do with getting off to a flying start against Villa, and we can't. We lose the match 3-1. Taylor opened the scoring for York, but we then concede 3 goals in a row from Delph, Renaud and Connor Wickham. A Silver form a worry, I'm being told. Well, we'll get the schedule moved on. Hopefully we hear back from 1 or 2 of the players we've made transfer bids for, or inquiries for. Okay, here we go. Ibrahim Mbaye, 7.5 million in to say we can have him for. And Nana Welbeck, Barca say 11 million. Well, so we may need to sell a player first. Maybe if we can sell one of our top stars, we get a decent offer, then we may look to use that to bring in one of those two. As our offer for Kurt Zouma is too low. Rio Ave, our offer is too low for Fabinho. Okay, I may look to resubmit this offer for Fabinho. I think it was 4 million I'll go to max. That's the most our chief exec says we can get him for. So we'll leave it as that. I believe we also had a transfer offer, but I'll tell you what, Kurt Zouma can If I go to 6 million, that'll still leave me 4 for Fabinho. Yeah, so that should be enough. As we have a transfer offer for Nasser Renaud. Aldershot Town, season-long loan. Gladly let you go out. And once again, let's quickly see how much wage. £750 is being covered. Once again, we'll get this schedule moved on, and hopefully we hear back from Newcastle regarding Thomas Ronge, or from St Etienne regarding Kurt Zouma. Newcastle transfer offer unacceptable. That's at a £6 million price tag. You know what, I'll go to £4.5 million for Thomas Ronge. The fact that he can play right back or centre back does give us that cover. If we can get Ronge and Fabinho in, then we do have cover at right back and centre back, with maybe the option to bring in a midfielder rated minimum of 80. As your offers for Pavlovic and Silva. Okay, Espanyol have offered 5 million. He's worth 4.7. You can have him for 7.5 million. And Silva, Milan offered 7.5. He's worth 7. I'm going to want more than 7.5, to be fair. I'll put in a 12.5 million counter offer. Board will give me, I think, around 10 million of that for a new player. So yeah, I want to make it worth my while. And once again, we'll see if we hear back from Newcastle or St Etienne regarding our new offers. Here we go, St Etienne, transfer offer rejected. Okay, we'll leave that one for now, I think. Espanyol said Pavlovic isn't worth the offer. Milan, more than they're willing to spend. They're willing to spend 11 million. No, you know what? I'll put it up to 15, and then if you come back again, hopefully you will come back with the original 12.5 that I said you could have him for. And we have an offer for Piccolo from Belsko Batia. Okay, just going to accept that. Get him off the books as soon as we can. Okay, transfer. Kurt Zouma, actually. Do I go back in and re-offer? You know what? The offer came in for Pavlovic. I wonder if it could be worthwhile lowering it and offering Pavlovic. He's worth 4.7 and offering them 4 million cash. That's an 8.7 million pound deal in theory. Transfer offer, yep, just one for Piccolo, which we've seen. Okay, we'll get this schedule moved on towards game day. How did West Brom get on in their first game? Let's have a look. They lost their first game. They are one place above us in the league. Okay, here we go. Transfer offer rejected. Rio Ave. The player is just too valuable. Okay, he's worth 5.5. My chief exec says anywhere up to 4 million. I'll go to 4.5. He's 23 and he's rated 79. He's going to improve, hopefully to at least an 84, 85. So he'll be there with us for a few years. And once again, we'll quickly get this squad checked out. See if we can make any changes. Obviously, after that last result against Villa, we need to get back into winning ways as soon as possible. Any defender? Lazarevic is in a bit of form. Perez Alonso is also in a bit of form, so we'll move them two in. Silva will give you a try instead of Moreno Fuertes, and we'll bring. Tell you what, we'll move Hayams into midfield, take Silva out, and okay, Matic is in a bit of form, so what we'll do, we'll move Matic into the cam role. I tried it last season with Pranjic, and it seemed to work out okay for a few games, just while other players got a bit of form back. So we'll get this game underway with West Brom, who have lost their first game 1-0 to Norwich. And a 1-1 draw. A goal from Jakob after 25 minutes, and Taylor rescuing a point for York with 3 minutes to go. Okay, we'll get the schedule moved on, and hopefully we hear back from one of our potential new signings soon. Offer unacceptable from St Etienne. We're interested in the player you have offered. We don't believe the cash sum is enough. Okay, and Ronge, the offer has been accepted. He wants 35 grand a week. We'll give him a 5% clean sheet bonus, a 4-year deal, and he's going to be a crucial first team player. If one of our two main central defenders is injured, he'll be playing central defence. If not, he will be our first choice right back. So it is crucial that we do get him in, and it is going to be crucial that he plays. Retransfer offer for Silva, he's not worth that much. And Piccolo, Batia again, so our last one must have fallen through. Okay, hopefully he signs this time. They've upped their offer, so hopefully they are prepared to splash the cash for him. And wow, a game coming against Man United, who have won their first 2 games and currently lie second in the table, coming up for us in 5 days' time. But before that, we need to get through the said schedule and see who, if anyone, we can sign. As Rio Ave have said, we need to pay 7 million for Fabinho. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it to 2.5, and I'll offer them Pavlovic. That works out at a £7.2 million deal for them. There's even an offer for Luke Shaw from Hanover. Offered 5.5, he's worth 5. The chief exec says we could go up to 6.9. You can have him for 10.5. To be fair, if you come back in the middle and say you'll give me 7, 8 million, I'll take it. And then we'll look to see if we can potentially bring in Ibrahim Mbai. Ooh, Spurs in talks over Sahin. I wonder how much he's worth. Tell you what, if we bring in Sahin, if we can look to bring in Sahin, who can we look to sell? Here's Pavlovic and Baker. You know what? I will put Pavlovic up for transfer, just to see. Yeah, I wonder how much Sahin is going for. Quickly do a search. I may have to do it via player. Sorry, I may have to do it via team, because obviously his name's got the S in his name's got the accent underneath it, and I don't know. No, it's not picked it up. So we'll do this search for via team, all the way to La Liga. Yeah, come on. There we go. Okay, backwards to Real Madrid and search. Hopefully he's not on too much and we can pick him up for 7, 8 million, maybe. Okay, Nuri Sahin, wow, 14.5 million. He's on 90 grand a week, so his wage is atrocious and we can't get him. Anyone else we can look to pick up? Jordan Ayew, Rafael Varane. Could be worth a cheeky little bid on him. Looks like a deal may happen, 7 million. So I'll tell you what, if I go down to 5, I wonder if a deal will happen for 5 million. We shall see. I don't think there's really anyone else. Frederick Sorensen. Callahan's a bit too old. He's only rated 79. We'll leave it as that, and we'll get this schedule moved on. Hopefully we'll hear back from Thomas Ronge and he signs for us before this Man United game. Get him straight into the starting 11. Okay, player injured, St Etienne. That must be Kurt Zuma then, who's injured. Yep, out of action for 6 weeks. I'm sure I saw Thomas Ronge had accepted his contract as well. There we go. Yep, Thomas Ronge contract accepted. Getting you straight in the team, fella, ahead of this game against Man United. Rio Ave transfer offer accepted for Fabinho, 2.5 plus Pavlovic. Okay, 30 grand a week. We'll offer you 5% clean sheet, 4-year deal, crucial first team player. Transfer talks are broken down between Piccolo and Blasisco Bata. Hanover don't want to pay my offer for Luke Shaw. Real say the offer for Varane isn't worth that much. And we have a season-long loan for Luis Godin from Leicester. Gladly let that happen. New signing arriving of Thomas Ronge, and 5 grand is being covered in the Godin loan to Leicester. Pavlovic transfer list shocker. Well, to be fair, I need to freshen the team up, I think, and he's one of the players. He's on the most wage. He's rated the same as Baker, but Baker's valued higher and he's on less wage. So it seems wise to get rid of the player who is on more money at this moment in time. As Fabinho has accepted the contract offer as well. That's fantastic news. So that leaves us with 3.7 million and a wage budget of 28,000. So we may be able to bring in one more player. Not too sure yet. Hopefully we can sell 1 or 2 players just to up the wage budget and then see if we can sign someone else whose contract is running out for around 3.5 million as Juve win the Coppa Europa. Thiago Madeiros position in jeopardy with Ronge signing? I don't think it is really. Thiago Madeiros will be there potentially with Ronge in the back 2. Like maybe even Ronge as the right back. Who knows? Okay, defence is looking better already with Fabinho and Ronge in there, especially with Fabinho in there as right back. Midfield is not looking too bad. I mean, D'Souza Silva, and unfortunately, my goalkeeper's badly out of form, and that's the one position where we do need someone in form. And obviously, Jack Butland's gone out on loan, so I can't really bring Navas into the starting 11. Tell you what I will do, I will bring Pablo Escobar onto the bench. Due to the simple fact is, I'm playing 3 strikers, so it only leaves me 1 on the bench. So I think it's better to have the 2 on the bench, even if he is young. He may come on, get an assist, may get a goal in a defeat, who knows. Okay, Man United have won their last 3 games. They beat Stuttgart, Everton and Norwich. And they beat us 1-0. Nani with the goal after 35 minutes. And to be fair, I don't mind that. That's only a 1-0 defeat. Yeah, people may say you shouldn't be losing, but York City in the first season in the Premier League to go to Man United and only lose 1-0, I think is a pretty good result, to be fair. But we'll see if we can snap our form in this game coming up against West Brom in the Capital One Cup. Obviously, we played West Brom 2 games ago in the league and drew 1-1. Hopefully we can do better this time. We have our new defensive signing, so hopefully they can spark the team. Let's have a look, see who we can bring in. Anyone on the shortlist we can look to bring in. I could look to get Del Fabro in. Ezekiel Garay could be one. Then again, if I want to sort the midfield out, there's Mohamed Abu from Man City. I'd love a new striker, but I think the 4 that we've got are good enough, especially Benzia, who should be really good. And he's got all the traits and as a first-class finisher, so he needs and should be producing. We'll look to get Abu in. We'll drop it to 3.5. That gives me an extra 200,000 that can move on to the wage budget. Obviously, we've only got a wage budget of 28,000, and he's on 40,000 at the moment. Other than that, I think we may just leave it for now. Here, I'll quickly move this wage budget. There you go, 3.5. Oh no, so we are going to be short in the wage budget. So hopefully we can sell a player soon before and if this Abu offer gets accepted. Okay, offer unacceptable, 5.5 million for Mohamed Abu. As we have an offer for Dolly Odije Offe. 725,000 from Charlton. Gladly accept that. Get him off the books. Get the money in, and then maybe we can up our offer for Abu. Anyone else we can look to get rid of, to be fair? Lazarevic, Mia, Medeiros, Perez, Alonso, Camacho, Ronge. I've got 4, 5, 6. I think I've got 7 defenders now. So maybe we can look to get rid of one of those. Camacho potentially could be the one. He's only on 3,500 a week. He's valued at 7.5. Rated 78, whereas Perez Alonso's only rated 2 below him, but he's 2 years younger. Hoffler, he's offered to go out on loan. Silva is only worth 7 million. The main one to potentially sell would be Moreno Fuentes, who's 19.5 million. But he's going to be that good, I don't really want to. Where Silva is rated 1 less than Moreno Fuentes, and he's 3 years older. Escobar could be a player as well. I may look to sell. He's worth 1 million. If I can get him off the books and get someone else in, that may be something I look to do. Luis Gudan, I don't really want to sell. I think he could turn into a world beater. Yeah, we'll leave it for now. I think the players who I could potentially sell are going to be players that could help the team, and I don't really want to do that right now. I'll get this team checked out ahead of the game against West Brom in the Capital One Cup. We'll look to go with a full strength team with Fabinho, Ronge, Mia and Luke Shaw at the back. Moreno Fuentes can come into the team. We've got Baker in there. We've got Taylor as well. We'll go with Soriano and Mattox. It's not the greatest, but I think it's the best team we can put out now. Hopefully we can bounce back and get a win against West Brom, who have drawn 2 of their last 3 and lost 1, so they're not scoring, but they're also not conceding any. Okay, 2-2 draw, and we take the game 5-4 on penalties. Ronge sent off, and Escobar with the 2 goals. So Escobar put us 1-0 up, Z Eduardo made it 1-1, then Escobar put us 2-1 up again. Okay, Dolly has been sold, and we have Ronge suspended. How does that leave the budget allocation? 4 million to spend, and I think it was 35,000 on wages. Can't really buy Varane or Fabro. Kurt Zuma, he's injured, so I don't really want to bring him in because he's going to be out for 5 weeks. So obviously he won't be fit until it's going to be October time, isn't it? Yeah. Ezekiel Garay maybe want to look to bring in on deadline day, but to be fair, I'd love to bring in and buy, and maybe I do sell Luke Shaw. Okay, it's going to have to be a 4 million bid. Do I offer a player as well? I could offer a player. Let's have a look. Who could we offer them? I could offer them Luke Shaw. To be fair, I could look to do that straight swap. So I think every player I've got is actually crucial, so we'll leave it as that for now and just offer 4 million. Then maybe just wanting to get him off the books with it being near to transfer deadline day. I'm not going to go back in for Matteo De Chilio. We've already got 2 right backs in. Wilfred Bonney. I think I can put in a 4 million bid for you. We can definitely offer you your wage of 35,000. So yeah, we'll see if we can get you for 4 million. Just freshen the attack up. Nana Welbeck, no. Lorenzo Christie, I know your contract is running out this season, but I think it's going to be at least 7 million for you. And again, if your contract's only 15,000, so we can bump it up a little. So we'll see if you will accept a bid in the region of 4.5. I think it's going to be 4.75. Shall I put in? We've got 4.9. Oh, so we can go 5 million. That's even better. Yeah, we'll do that. 15,000 for his wages, which is ideal. Okay, let's move this forward and get into transfer deadline day. Okay, we'll leave it a couple of hours, I think, before I make any offers, see if anyone comes back. Here we go. We have a few back. All look to be rejected. Match rescheduled against Everton. Other clubs showing interest in Wilfred Bonney's stock. Inter value is too low. The bid's too low for Bonney, and the bid's too low for Christie. Who shall I go back in for? You know what, I may try Christie again. And if we go 5 million and offer them, I put Escobar on the transfer list, didn't I? So I may offer them Escobar. Or shall I offer them Lemaire? I'd take a midfielder out for a midfielder. No, I'll tell you what, we'll offer them Escobar. He's worth 1 million. So that'll put it up to around £6.5 million bid. And we'll leave it as that. If they come back and say no, I may look to just shore up the defence and bring in another defender. It can't hurt to have a few defenders all rated around 80 that will spice the team up. Okay, they're interested in the player, but the cash sum isn't enough. They want 11.875 million for him. Not a chance I'm paying you that much, because 1, I don't have it, and 2, it's just not worth it. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's time to move to Ezekiel Garay. I'm sure your contract's running out this season, and also you've got this tactician trait, which I do like. Let's have a look. Contract, yeah, 11 months left on your contract. So I'm going to go 3.5 million. Yeah, I was thinking 3 million, but I think that may be too low. 3.5 million. That leaves me 1.5 million in the transfer budget, which I can move across to the wages. I think you're on 30, maybe 35 grand a week. So we'll move it across. There we go. And we'll get this schedule moved on. Hopefully we hear back from, I think we play for Benfica. Hopefully hear from Benfica soon. Here we go. Yep, transfer offer accepted. 3.5 million. You're on 40 grand a week. With you 5% clean sheet for 3 years, and I'll make you an important first team player. Leaves me a remaining wage budget of 3,000. Should we need to up the offer a little bit. Hopefully he signs on the dotted line soon, and then that'll be our, yeah, there we go. Signed, sealed, and accepted. There we go. All sorted. So we've strengthened the defence with 3 players. One's rated 79, one's rated 81, and one's rated 80. That should, hopefully, be good enough to keep us in a reasonable position in the Premier League. I don't really think there's much we can do. We may try and sell a player or two. Who can we sell, to be fair? I think I am going to have to try and sell a defender, if not in this transfer window, in the next one, because we have a shed load of... Obviously, I brought in 2 central defenders in that transfer window, and we've not sold anyone. To be fair, Bacon, Bueno, Fuentes, Silva is at this moment in time needed. I was going to look to sell him, but yeah, I think he's needed. Who do I can't really go for anyone because I haven't got the wage budget. I was hoping to potentially do a straight swap deal for Silva for a player, but we've just not got the wage budget, so we'll quickly get the rest of transfer deadline day done and dusted. And then, once we've done that, we will call it a day, as it's been a bit of a blockbuster episode, nearly 30 minutes. Okay, 73.4 million was spent on transfer deadline day. Scouting report, Hoffler looks an absolute bag of shite, to be fair. Potential between 72 and 78, so we'll release you. And Veldmet is my potential world-class player. Spurs keen on signing Mvia. Can't do it till the next transfer window. But guys, I'll call it a day there. Hopefully you enjoyed this little blockbuster episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!